Ladies and gentlemen, this week's Smackdown. Great episode. Even though there were a few tiny bit parts. There were a tiny bit of bad parts on the show, including Nia Jax. Of course, we got the Big E segment, the Banks and Belair segment, Edge versus Jey Uso confirmed for next Friday's Friday Night Smackdown. Big E versus Apollo Crews confirmed for Fastlane. And a great 6-man tag match, or great 8-man tag match. We're going to talk about it, folks. We're going to break it down. We're going to go over it all. And plus, I have some news on Andrade, on WWE denying Andrade's WWE request. You know what I mean by request. And plus, much more. Gonna go over it all right here on my Ingram Wrestling News YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, this is IWN's very own Brendan here, live with your March the 12th, 2021 Friday Night Smackdown review. Before we get started, man, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on bell for notifications so you won't miss all my SmackDown, Raw, NXT, and NXT UK reviews that go live each and every week. Also, so you won't miss my Call of Duty streams. So you won't miss my streams on Call of Duty every week. Not only so you won't miss my streams on Call of Duty, also so you won't miss my Dragon Ball Z Verse 2 streams that, you know. So you won't miss my stream on my stream on Dragon Ball FighterZ next week. We're gonna continue the Super Warrior arc on Dragon Ball FighterZ. So if you're interested in joining the stream on that next week, feel free to, man. You don't have to if you don't want to. Also, have on those notifications so you won't also miss my WWE 2K20 streams. So you won't miss my stream on 2K20, because I stream 2K20, Call of Duty, Dragon Ball Z Verse 2, and Dragon Ball FighterZ almost every week. So have on those notifications so you won't miss my gaming content and my wrestling content on the channel. Also, follow me on Twitter at Ingram Wrestling. Follow me on Twitter for the WWE and AEW news. Also, follow me on Twitch at Ingram Wrestling News. Help me get up to 1,000 followers on Twitch and Twitter. And you guys know the routine when it comes to Twitter. All you gotta do is follow me on Twitter for the latest WWE and AEW news. And all you gotta do is subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on the notifications so you won't miss the gaming content and all the games that I stream on the channel. Also, I'm dangerously close to 200, and I am on the road to 1,000, so I think it's very important for you to subscribe if you don't want to miss my newest content that's coming to the channel this year. Just throwing it out there. If you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Also, I did not like the fact that Nia Jax was on Smackdown last night. I'm sorry, just didn't. I didn't like the fact that Nia Jax was on this week's Smackdown. I didn't. And I didn't like the fact that Reginald is still involved with the Banks and Belair Nia Jax Shayna feud. If you know what I mean, if you will. So, if I missed anything else, please let me know in the chat or in the comments. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get to the review. Allergies kind of bothering me a little bit. My eyes has been bothering me all week. Eyelashes, I've been pulling them out twice. The junks, you don't know what OCD is. If you know what OCD is, that means you had it. Guaranteeing you half of you wasn't even born with it. I was born with OCD. I was born with autism. I was born with HD. I know what the stuff is. But this OCD stuff is really bothering me real bad. My freaking eyelashes, like when I mean they are bothering me, they are literally bothering me. My eyes been burning. My eyes was burning when I was streaming on Call of Duty yesterday. Oh my god. I do not want to give out the information on how bad my eyes were burning. So bad, I feel like my eyes were going to come out. That's how bad it was burning. It's kind of been a busy week for me. I did go live for my Raw review this Monday night, so if you missed my Raw review, man, my Raw review live stream is on my channel, so go check out my Raw review, go give it a like if you enjoyed it. Man, I know some of you all enjoyed that intro, though, on my Raw review. Man, I'm going to use it again. I'm going to use that intro again. I'm going to use it. I am definitely going to use that boys intro music again. Because I really think it fits good with my Raw review. I think that should be my only intro for my Raw review. Because that intro is the best way to describe how garbage Monday Night Raw is every Monday nights. We all know. Trust me. Anyhow, folks, we're going to go ahead and get started with the review. Enough with the playing. Let's get started here. Or should I say enough with the talking? So, as you all know, folks, this week's SmackDown did open up with a look at last week's main event with Daniel Bryan and Jey Uso in a steel cage. Something that most wanted because he and Heyman are great spin doctors. A few weeks ago, Roman told him to acknowledge him as the main event of WrestleMania. And so he did. Now he chose Roman. Then Roman made a U-turn and got played by Daniel Bryan. Speaking of who he came out last week and said he deserves to be in the main event of WrestleMania more than him because he loves wrestling. And because he wrestled more than him. Edge says it's time he remind everyone who he is. When Bryan was wrestling once a week on the indies, he was in WWE wrestling 5-7 times a week with guys like The Rock, Undertaker, Mick Foley, Terry Funk, Eddie Guerrero, and more. No offense, Edge, but we didn't need to know that. We already know. We all watched you since our childhoods, I'm sure. We know. We don't need to be reminded. I'm not trying to be rude, but just throwing it out there. Now he's back because he loves it. Yeah, we know. Bryan can't use love as a reason why he should be in the main event. Now, he has to just wait until Fastlane to see who he's facing at WrestleMania. Edge makes to continue, but Daniel Bryan makes his way to the ring. Bryan says it's clear Edge has also been sucked in. He got sucked in by him, and that wasn't even his intention. He says he thought Edge would be impressed that he went into business for him for once. Bryan sets the record straight and says he has an infinite amount of respect for Edge, for the people he's wrestled, the miles he's traveled, and how hard he fought to get back here. But it allows him to be honest. This has nothing to do with Edge. Bryan says he watched Edge point at the WrestleMania sign, and he got demoralized. But it wasn't because of Edge. He was angry at himself, so he went into business for himself and took one last shot in case this is his last WrestleMania. Bryan says he has to beat Roman Reigns at Fastlane, and he has to go to the main event of WrestleMania. Now, Edge says he wants to make himself clear. Roman already beat Bryan. Yeah, it was stretchy, but a win is a win. He won the Royal Rumble, outlasted 29 other guys, and Bryan was one of them. Ed says he has respect for Bryan too. He likes him. He's better than this. But he's not better than he is. Edge leaves. Bryan is in the ring. So we got the Street Profits coming to the ring alongside Rey and Dominik Mysterio for an 8-man tag team match, but they were attacked by Otis and Chad Gable on the ramp. Rude and Ziggler came down and posed with Gable and Otis in the ring. So we got this 8-man tag match, but before that, I really want to give you my thoughts and comments on this, honestly. I really do. Because I feel like you all need to know the importance of my thoughts and comments on this, because I watched this very closely while I was live with my Smackdown live stream watch along. My moderator Justin was in the chat with me. I chat with him. He's my only moderator right now. I'm still looking for 2 or 3 moderators, but anyways, never mind that. Anyways, no, my moderator Justin was in chat, because I was watching Daniel Bryan Edge in the ring, and I noticed, some respect and sportsmanship between these guys. Now, my thoughts on the Edge and Bryan thing. Now, I'm not going to lie. This segment was almost too good for the sake of WrestleMania. Now, unless WWE wants to put off surprise twist, Bryan is a better face right now than Edge. So, it shows in their interactions. Now, the fans are behind the leader of the Yes Movement. And the Radar Superstar comes off a heel working with him. Now, while Reigns versus Edge is a match that needs to happen at some point, which I don't agree with. I think Daniel Bryan versus Reigns at WrestleMania 37 is the match that actually needs to happen, instead of Reigns versus Edge. But SmackDown needs to get moving with the build for that contest if it is the plan. Plain and simple, folks. It is becoming a tougher sell as the main event of WrestleMania each week, with a better opposition presented. So that's what I think of this right here. When we're talking about Bryan, Reigns, and Daniel Bryan, when we're mentioning their names, this was my thoughts on the Edge Bryan segment here. It was a great segment to kick off SmackDown. I really enjoyed it. I didn't have nothing to say. I didn't complain. I'm just actually glad it wasn't the 8-man tag match at the very, very beginning. Oh my God, that would have been so terrible if they actually started off with a match that we didn't want to watch. Oh my goodness, because speaking of 8-man tag match, after that Bryan Edge segment, that's exactly what we got. I mean, who is really going to watch a tag match with a god-awful SmackDown tag team division? I mean, this division sucks. Not shitting on the Street Profits, so I'm talking about the rest of the team. This tag team division is awful. Really, really awful. Now, the 8-man tag match was good, but the tag division, different story. Tag division, a very, very different story. So, we got the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford, Rey Mysterio, and his son, Dominik Mysterio. You know, Aaliyah Mysterio's actual real-life brother. Yeah. You know what I mean. Rey Mysterio, mom's son. Rey Mysterio's own son. Anyway. So we got all these guys versus Rude and Ziggler, Otis and Chad Gable, the Academy. Or should I say the Alpha Academy. Excuse me. So here we are with this 8-man tag match. They start the match with Dawkins and Robert Roode. And Angelo comes at him with right hands. Dropkick. Gable rushes in, but Angelo drops him with a dropkick. And he rolls out. Rude takes a front face lock on Dominik and tags Chad Gable. Now, Gable gets caught with a Hurricane Rana. Meanwhile, Otis tags in and clubs Dominik. The kid looks for a springboard, but Otis swats him in mid-air with an axe handle. So then, Gable tags back in and hits an impressive butterfly fisherman suplex for a 2 count. And in case you're wondering why I'm reading a little bit slow, it's because I'm doing something called taking my time, because this show was good. The show was that good, so good, and I'm taking my time. I don't even got to read as fast now. Gable tags back in and hits an impressive butterfly fisherman suplex for a 2 count, and tags Rude again. Rude wants a suplex, but Dominik needs him. But I do want to read fast so I can get back to Call of Duty, but I may end up going to bed after this. I may change my mind. Anyhow, Rude wants a suplex, but Dominik needs him. Then hits a tornado DDT that looked generally kind of looked confusing a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, it really did. Ziggler and Dawkins tag in. The big man hits a corkscrew elbow and an exploder suplex. Now Dawkins punches Otis off the apron, then runs at Ziggler, but he gets hit with an uppercut. Dawkins lands a spinebuster and tags Ford, who wants the frog splash, but Rude shoves him off to the floor. We go to commercial break. Back for commercial break. Back live. Ziggler takes out Ford with a drop kick, then applies a sleeper. Ford slowly walks to his corner and tags Dawkins, who comes in hot, but the referee didn't see it. Now Ford gets forced to the corner and isolated. Rey Mysterio eventually gets the tag and comes in against Gable with a springboard headbutt and a tilt-a-whirl DDT for a near fall. Dominik comes in, but Otis catches him. Rey drops Otis and looks for a 619 on Gable, but Rude rushes in a drop and drops him. God damn it, fucking Oz is bothering me so bad, man. I can't stand it. Everything breaks down and everyone hits big moves until the Mysterios hit Rude with a double 619. That was a good double 619 by the team of Rey Mysterio and Dominik. They looked impressive with that 619. I'll give them that. Then Dominik dives onto Gable at ringside. Rey tags out and dives onto Otis. Then Montez hits from the heavens for the win. That was it. My thoughts, honestly, everything worked hard in this match to make it work. Honestly, folks. Though it was still far too clear that WWE needs to do more to establish the characters of the talent involved. Now, this is particularly important for Chad Gable and Otis. The Alpha Academy has given Otis direction, but it's unclear what he is as a heel at this point right now. Now, Street Profits have been kept away from Rude and Ziggler for 2 months, which is long enough to set up one last match between the teams. Holding off any longer will not work. The two teams have fought too many times for it to work as the WrestleMania angle. Now, Jey Uso's walking backstage and comes to Roman's office, but Heyman is standing outside. Heyman blocks his way and says Fridays are pressure filled for Roman, and he isn't happy about Jey tapping out. Jey says he has some business anyway, but he'll circle back around. Remember on my WWE Smackdown live stream, I said I wouldn't be surprised if we get Edge versus Jey Uso next week. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened at the end of Smackdown. That's exactly what we got. Man, am I just a smart person, man? Am I just such a genius? I knew they were going with that, man. When I saw Jey Uso and Edge, I immediately realized I would not be surprised if they go with this match. I wouldn't. And it happened so fast. It happened at the end of the show so fast. Them announcing Jey Uso versus Edge, it happened so fast. It happened faster than a fucking cheetah. Faster than a cheetah can run. That's how they announced it. That quick, like that. So I go to commercial break. Caleb Braxton interviews Seth Rollins backstage and asks him about Cesaro. Now Rollins, he isn't happy and asks why we keep talking about Cesaro. He says he tried to help Cesaro, someone with all the potential in the world. But never been a leading man. He tried, and in return, he got embarrassed and disrespected. He's done with him. Braxton informed Cesaro will be facing Murphy that night, and he says, interesting. They ain't interested in me because I already saw it last week. I don't need to see it again. Why would I want to see the same match over and over again if it's not a feud? Really. We get a lengthy replay of the recent happenings with Sasha Banks. Carmella and Reginald, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax takes Reginald to a fancy clothes store, and Jax tells him he can have whatever he wants. And it's on her. We get a fashion montage of Reggie trying on outfits. Baszler is having her life. I don't blame her. Oh my god, I don't even know why they're showing this. Why are they going with a romance storyline? Oh, so you mean tell me they'd rather go with this? Folks, I don't know why they keep booking Cesaro versus Murphy. They're not feuding. Cesaro and Murphy are not feuding, so why are you booking Cesaro versus Murphy? Murphy is not feud, so he's not. I don't even know why they keep booking them against the same opponent. It's not making sense. Especially if Murphy and Cesaro are feuding, which they're not. So it makes no sense to book the same match over and over again. Like I just said. So we got Cesaro versus Murphy. I kind of wish I was seeing Rollins versus Cesaro, but I want to see that at Fastlane. I want that to wait till Fastlane, though. I think it makes sense for us to wait till the pay-per-view to get that match. I don't think it makes sense to book it for next week's Smackdown. I think it makes sense to go with it for Fastlane. You know, wait till Fastlane, and then we'll get to see Cesaro and Rollins ultimately go at it. I know that's going to be some hard-hitting match between Rollins and Cesaro. Cesaro and Rollins, they know each other so well, and I think they have a history between one another. Not sure. They might. I think they were on NXT the same year, too. I think. They had to be. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. If I'm right, then I'm right. Alright? So, Cesaro versus Murphy. Seth Rollins comes out to watch this match, and it gets underway. Murphy forces Cesaro he forces Cesaro to the corner. I can't even talk right tonight. And it's actually morning, not tonight. I got that wrong too. Must be a sign that I'm getting sleepy. Murphy forces Cesaro in the corner and peppers him with rights and lefts. Cesaro comes back with a European uppercut, then slams him into the buckles. Murphy rolls outside, and Cesaro goes after, but gets caught with a huge leaping knee. Murphy gets Cesaro back inside and gets on the apron, but Cesaro grabs him for a deadlift suplex. Cesaro throws Murphy from corner to corner and hits running uppercuts. Oh, some good old blade-looking uppercuts there from Cesaro, man. One One of the best uppercuts on the planet. Anyways, Cesaro throws Murphy from corner to corner, hits running uppercuts, then catches a flying Murphy with the swing. Rollins attacks Cesaro during the match, which I thought was a terrible ending. Cesaro attacking Cesaro. Or Cesaro attacking, or nah. Seth Rollins attacking Cesaro was a terrible ending. Oh my god. I don't know why you would have Seth Rollins attacking Cesaro. Jesus Christ. Let the man fucking win, man. Let the man win a straight match instead of having him win by disqualification. Come on, man. You know better than this, WWE. So he gets attacked by Seth Rollins. Seth continues to kick and punch Cesaro and takes him out with the stomp. Seth yells at Cesaro and waits for him to get back up so he can hit another stomp. And that's exactly what he did. Hit another stomp. Now Rollins grabs the chair and puts Cesaro's head inside it. Then looks for another stomp, but the referees and officials run down and stop him. Rollins walks backstage and Nakamura stares him down. Now, honestly, to be honest, it's really a shame that Murphy was sacrificed to Cesaro again. But he got in a few nice moves first. He is far too talented for this man. And it unfortunately feels like he will need to go back to helping Rollins to get any kind of attention. Now the positive was that Cesaro remains dominant and Nakamura looks to still be working with his former partner in some capacity. As both are faces, they can be friends by WWE standards, and that can lead to some great matches on the road to WrestleMania. Seth Rollins vs. Cesaro has been built as a huge match for the grandest stage of them all, to save it for that moment. Now we can get Seth Rollins vs. Nakamura at WWE Fastlane. Oh, that too. Seth Rollins vs. Nakamura, I wouldn't mind that either. That would be a hard-hitting match too. I definitely wouldn't mind that. Yeah. So after that match, after Seth Rollins did what he did to Cesaro, Kevin Owens walks backstage with cards for his talk show. But Sami Zayn stops him. Zayn says, considering their history, he wants Owens to be part of his documentary. He'll think about it. He asked him what he's doing. Basically saying, what is he doing? What are you doing? You know. Edge says in 2015, when he was still mourning wrestling, he watched the Usos and the Wyatts, and it made him realize he could love it again. Edge asked Jay why he's walking around with slumped shoulders and with his head down. Jay tells Edge he doesn't know him, so he should go home and be with his family because at WrestleMania Roman is going to main him. Edge says he tried. It's time for the KO show. Owen says it's great to be back, but the last few months were rough for him, physically and mentally. It was a roller coaster, but he will keep fighting until he has nothing left. Regardless, he said tonight wasn't about him. Tonight was about his guesses, Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. So those were his guesses for that night. Now, both women come to the ring, and Owens says he can only think of two other people who faced each other at WrestleMania, who being tag champions were John Cena and Shawn Michaels. So they could be stepping into some pretty big shoes. Owens says they're fighting for the tag titles at Fastlane, but they've already lost to Baszler and Nia Jax. However, he wants to know if there's tension between them and lays out why there might be. Banks says she's smoking hot, and that's why Reggie has been sniping around her. And Belair says that's an issue. She let Reginald hang around her. Banks talks about how great she is, and Bianca tells her she's not the one who win the Royal Rumble match. She's not the one who won the Royal Rumble match. It was the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair herself. Banks says if she had been in the match, she would have won it. Banks says she will single-handedly beat Shayna and Nia and become two belts Banks again. They start to bicker, but out come Nia and Shayna, which I was hoping not come out, but they did. So we got Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair versus Natty and Tamina. I'm not even gonna do it because I don't want to see their faces on the screen because they are two of the worst examples of the women's division. I really don't care who doesn't agree with me. I really just do not care about the negativity from the negative IWC community. From some of the negative IWC community mercs and freaking geeks, version geeks in there in the community. I just don't care. I'm just gonna keep it just like this. This looks perfect. I'd rather see Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair on my screen than Tamina and Natalya. Anyways, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, and Reginald are on commentary for this one. Tamina and Sasha start the match, and we get right hands from Tamina and Natalya. So they were tagged in. A slap by Sasha and an arm drag to Natalya sends her outside. Sasha with a baseball slide, and she gets Natalya back into the ring. Reginald stands up and gets attention, but Banks gets back in the ring, and Natalya knocks her down. Reginald walks across the announce table. Tamina is tagged in, and she stomps on Sasha in the corner. Natalya is tagged back and lands a snap suplex to Sasha for a 2 count. Natalya applies a headlock, but a jawbreaker gets Sasha free, and Bianca is tagged in. A dropkick takes Natalya down, then Bianca hits a spine buster. Bianca goes for the cover, but Reginald gets in the ring apron and distracts the referee. Natalya connects with a discus clothesline to a distracted Belair. Reginald gets on the table again, so Banks chases him. Sasha gets back in the ring as Natalya knocks her down. Tamina rolls Bianca up and gets the pin. Folks, you might as well say Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair are already ruined before Fastlane in 2 weeks. They're already ruined. Now, I will say this. I will definitely say this. Now, as a whole, the segment worked for the story unfolding. Banks and Belair have been friendly for a while. Now, there needed to be more conflict for WrestleMania contest. While Reginald should not be involved at all, period. None. He is a minor inconvenience that will be forgotten in the long term. Now, what may leave a more lasting impact was Tamina pinning Belair. The EST has been so protected lately, even with the many circumstances around it. It is hard to justify that result. The only way to make it work is if Natalya and Tamina are legally added to the WWE Fastlane match. Now, I really don't want to see them being added to the Fastlane match because I'm not a fans of them, but I think that would be the only thing that would work. Unfortunately, the two veterans have done so much for WWE for so long. It may be a rare opportunity to reward their work by letting them add a fresh element to a familiar match. I can't believe I'm saying that, but truth has to be told. So, after the match, Banks and Belair argue with each other, and Belair storms off. Banks stares at Baszler, Jackson, and Reginald before leaving. If you're liking this review so far, man, hit the like button on the review if you're enjoying it so far. I'm trying to make it good. We see a replay of Big E getting injured a few weeks ago at the hands of Apollo Crews. Big E will make his return after the commercial break. The Intercontinental Champion Big E comes to the ring and says as he was laid up in a medical facility because of Apollo and the steel steps, he had a lot of time to think. He hopes Apollo knows what he did because he crossed the line. He opened Pandora's box. There's no coming back. No saying sorry. He can't put the Johnny back in the bottle. He made Big E go Bobbigle, and he's going Old Testament. It's eye for an eye. Apollo tried to hurt him, and he's here to make him pay. Apollo stepped on his lawn, and he's gonna bulldoze his house. Pinning him won't be enough. He's gonna end him. He gets to end him. Big E says Apollo wants he wants what's his, and that's fine because he's finally ready to give him what he deserves, and they don't want to wait. They can go right now. Apollo doesn't answer the call, and Big E says that's what he expected. Big E offers an open challenge. Baron Corbin answers the call. Corbin comes out wearing a suit and tells Big E to calm down. He says he isn't dressed to fight, but he'll tear it up. Sami Zayn runs out and says he accepts the challenge. Corbin grabs him and says he accepts it, but Zayn documentary they bicker, and Big E says whoever gets in the ring first, they get the match. Zayn sprints So we got Big E versus Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, the bell rings and Big E goes right to Zayn with knees to the body, but Zayn fires back with a kick and takes a headlock. Big E whips him to the ropes and connects with a back elbow for a 1 count. Big E slams Sami into the turnbuckles, then runs for a spear, but Zayn gets the knees up, right hands from Zayn as he chokes Big E on the second rope. Sami climbs in second rope and lands an elbow to the face for a 2 count. Sami goes back to the second rope and jumps, but Big E catches and throws him with a belly to belly, and Sami rolls to the outside. Big E grabs Zayn and throws him into the ring apron. Big E yells for Apollo and hits Sami again. Big E places Zayn on the apron and looks for the big splash, but Sami avoids it and E crashes. So we got a commercial break, back live, and they're brawling on the top rope. Zayn batters Big E with right hands, then hits a sunset flip powerbomb for a near fall. Zayn can't believe it. He's angry. Zayn uploads right hands, then whips him to be ropes. So once he runs him to the ropes, Big E runs through a clothesline and hits one of his own. The champion hits the big ending and retains the title. So after the match, Big E is fired up. Apollo Crews' music hits and Big E's looking all over for him. Apollo rushes in from behind and attacks Big E. Apollo hits an angle slam, then another before shouting at Big E. Crews goes out and gets the steel steps and hits Big E with them. Big E rolls from the ring and Apollo poses on top of the steps. Now you gotta admit, Apollo Crews is really doing good with his heel turn. You know, with his run as a heel, man, he's doing really good. When I mean he's doing really good, I mean that. He's doing a really good job with his heel character. He's doing the best work of his career right now. And I personally mean that. Now, the Big E segment. This was a perfect segment from the moment Big E spoke. He cut one of the best promos of his career on Crews. Of course, calling him out for unlocking a dark side in the champion. It set the stage once more for how special this rivalry can be. Now, the match that followed was really good work from two great performers, while the master strategist has been treated as a joke outside the ring. He is always allowed to bring it in the ring. He made the motivated champion look unstoppable, especially when motivated. Now, finally, Crews once more kept his momentum going. The heel has had the upper hand on E for weeks. He needed to stay dominant. He and E can fight at any time, and it will be their best match to date, which now confirms Big E versus Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental Championship for Fastlane. That was confirmed by WWE because I saw the tweet from WWE. So, if you haven't seen the tweet yet, go to WWE. Go to WWE's YouTube or WWE's Twitter account. Once you go to WWE's Twitter account, you scroll down and you'll see where it says Apollo Crews versus Big E for Fastlane. It's been confirmed. WWE tweeted out yesterday. Now, Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, and Jey Uso were in the ring. Before that, Nia Jax was backstage with Reginald, and he tells her she should be thinking bigger. That she could walk into WrestleMania with 2 belts if she challenges Banks. Jax loves the idea. I don't. Nobody gives a shit about Nia Jax. I know. Oh my god, she is so about 1,000 times, dude. About 1,000 times until people get it, until people realize this. Then I'm telling the truth. Reigns, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, and Jey Uso coming down to the ring, signing the contract for the Fastlane match against Daniel Bryan. Adam Pearce is already there, and out comes Bryan as well. Now, Pearce says he understands the contract has been read and agreed to. So, with that being said, everyone could sign and walk away. Roman stares at him, and Pearce moves around to offer Roman his chair. Reigns smiles at Bryan and says, "You don't want this." Roman says he agreed to the match weeks ago, but this week he's not feeling it. So he refuses to sign the contract, and Bryan doesn't deserve it. Bryan says he's excited, so he signed the contract. He then says he never thought the head of the table would be afraid someone so insignificant. Oh, but maybe that changed last week because for years everyone thought he was better than Roman. But last week he proved it by making Jey Uso quit. Bryan mocks Roman and says maybe he should be the head of the table and the ruler of the island. The Samoans would love him. Roman gets angry and signs the contract. Roman hands the contract to Jey, who hands it to Pearce. Bryan says he's going to make Roman tap out just the way he made Jey tap out. Uso lifts and throws the table out of the ring. Jey shouts that he's had enough of the disrespect and he thinks this match needs a special guest enforcer. And it should be him. Edge comes out and says he loves that idea. And how about next week he has his first Smackdown match in 11 years against Jey Uso. And the winner becomes special enforcer at Fastlane. Adam Pearce books it, and Edge rushes down to the ring and beats on Roman. Bryan knocks Jey out the ring, then attacks Roman. Edge shoves him away. Edge knocks Roman from the ring, and Bryan takes out Edge with a flying knee. And that was it. SmackDown went off the air after that one. Now, this was a great contract signing that ended SmackDown. Great ending. I really loved it. I really, 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 really loved it. I hope you all that watched it loved it too. Now, I'll admit, this was shorter than expected. But this was not a bad thing at all. Now, Bryan Reigns did so much with just a few words. The way the leader of the Yes Movement rattled the head of the table. The way the Yes Movement rattled the head of the table was incredible. It showed how good both are selling a rivalry. Just like earlier in the night, the Rated R Superstar felt like the weak element of the segment. The segment could have been even better if Roman lost it on Oos, as promised earlier in the night. Instead, we get a generic announcement for next week in the Brawl. Folks, if you have any questions on this week's SmackDown, if you have any questions in particular, please comment down the section below. Now, that is going to do it for your March the 12th, 2021 SmackDown review. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you this news real quick on Andrade, because I feel like people that are fans of Andrade needs to know this. This is very, very, very crucial, important news. And then I saw a news article on Jason Jordan's wife calling him out for cheating. I saw that one too. That's a bombshell. That is a shocker right there. You want to talk about bombshell? That article I saw, that I was shocked. I was shocked to see that. I was shocked to see that article on Ringside News' website. You know, Ringside News are my friends on Twitter. I mean, I'm friends with their founder too. I mean, their founder had me followed on Twitter at one point. I don't know what happened with that. I still want to know what happened with that. I still do to this day. Now, there was news on WWE denying Andrade's release request. Now, some of you might want to come in because this is for some of you that haven't heard about the news about Andrade's release, you know, on WWE denying his release and stuff. Now, it says here that WWE has denied Andrade's release request. He requested his release on Monday after coming and looking miserable. F4W Online has confirmed that WWE denied Andrade's request released. It was previously reported that the company would likely make him wait, should I say. Ringside News, my sources, my good old friends on Twitter, exclusively reported that Andrade requested his WWE release. Wrestling Inc. also confirmed that he requested his release on Monday. Now, this is not a big surprise for anyone who has followed this story. Andrade was not used on WWE television for quite some time. He never was. He wasn't booked in storylines. He wasn't booked in matches. He wasn't booked in feuds. He wasn't booked in none. Wasn't even booked. He wasn't even booked to be in the Royal Rumble, I don't think, either. Nothing booked for him for Fastlane. Nothing. He's not going to show up for WrestleMania either. Nothing. They didn't book anything for Andrade. They don't got no plans for this man. This young man is so talented. He has a lot of potential, man. I think he should just go to AEW. AEW would love to have him. AEW would really, really love to have him. Or he can go back to the freaking Mexican wrestling or whatever he went to before, whatever wrestling promotion he was in before in Mexico. I think he should go to AEW though. They would love to have him. I think he would be a good aspect there. I think he'd be a good addition to AEW, man. He really would be. With Selena going to AEW, him and Selena being together again, him and Selena working together again, that'd be great. But Andrade was he was not used on television quite some time. His last appearance was in October 2020 in a losing effort to Angel Garza. WWE also really likes to make people wait out their releases, often keeping them benched throughout their contracts. Yeah, sure thing, Bruce and Vince. Yeah, sure thing. Ringside News broke down Andrade's time in WWE in exclusive details. He was fucked after a backstage shift and power lift him without any allies in control. So again, he was fucked after a backstage shift and power lift him without allies in control. That's what it said. So that was it. So that was it for that. So I just thought I'd give y'all that piece of information, that piece of news right there. And then there's news on Nia Jax and her romantic storyline on WWE Smackdown, which we've obviously witnessed. I already knew what it was. I just was embarrassed to see it. Man, Jason Jordan is being looked at now, man. I'm telling you, y'all might want to go to ringsidenews.com, man. You're gonna see what I'm talking about you're gonna see what I mean when I seen those articles on Jason Jordan. Jason Jordan's wife is calling him out for cheating. Women coming forward alleging she had Jason Jordan's abortion. Can y'all believe this? All these stories. Oh my goodness, dude. Jason Jordan better get himself together, dude, or he's gonna be landing some prison time. I think he needs to get himself together. He's gonna be landing in prison. I'm telling you. That, or he's gonna be put out by his wife. His wife's gonna end up breaking up with him. And I saw the news on WWE planning way more WrestleMania tickets than the original thought. So apparently WWE will bring live fans back for WrestleMania 2-night event on April the 10th and 11th. But they don't have nothing planned. Besides Reigns versus Edge for the Universal Championship and Sasha Banks versus Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I heard that was planned to be booked for WrestleMania. So that's 2 matches right there. I think the Hurt Business versus the New Day will be booked for the Raw Tag Team Champions for WrestleMania. Who really wants to see that? I'm tired of seeing that feud. Tired of seeing that same match every week, every Monday nights on Monday Night Raw. I'm tired of seeing that shit. They need more tag teams, dude. I'm afraid they call up Undisputed Era, they're gonna get fucking buried and wasted. But anyways, I did say that WWE will bring live fans back for WrestleMania 2 nights on April the 10th and 11th. Now, this will be the biggest show WWE can make, and that will include a lot more fans than first thought. Now, it says it was initially believed that WWE planned to sell 100,000, I think. Or I think it was 30,000 tickets for each night of WrestleMania. Now that number is believed to be higher. Wrestling Observer Newsletter noted that the plan right now is to bring 45,000 fans into each night of the show. This will be far more than the Super Bowl brought in. So, I guess we all in the community will have to see how quickly WWE sells out the event. Tickets will range from $35 to $2.05. I'm guessing. But those tickets are also born to be a hot item on the secondary market. So that's that. I think I got two more. I think I got a few more information to give y'all before I get out of here, man. I think. Let me check. Nope, no I don't. Never mind. Well, folks, I'm gonna get out of here. If you enjoyed my SmackDown review, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. It's okay. Just long as people show me respect, you know. Just long as I'm respected and I'm being nice to and not being disrespected. Because somebody disrespected me on my Call of Duty game the other day, and I just wasn't having it, dude. I wasn't gonna have that guy talking to me like that, man. I wasn't having it. But anyhow, I do have a little bit of announcements to make before I get out of here. And that is number one. This afternoon, I will be streaming Dragon Ball FighterZ and Dragon Ball Z Verse 2. I'm not going to be streaming Call of Duty today. I will not be. I'm taking a break from that shit, because that game has entirely pissed me off. The game fucking sucks. And I want to take a break from it. Alright? Now, Monday, my Monday Night Raw review will be back live. So Monday Night Raw review will be next Monday, and then next Wednesday my NXT review will be live, and then my Friday Night Smackdown review will be live, of course, after my WWE Smackdown live stream watch along. I will be tweeting out my full schedule for next week, so you ain't gotta worry about it. Those of you that have me followed on Twitter, you know what I mean. You already know the deal. So. And then Sunday, I'm going to be either watching Investigate Discovery or Stars Encore Western movies. You know, try to chill, relax, watch movies. You know, be live. I'll be live on YouTube while I'm watching, you know, chat with you all. If you all need to chat with me about anything. And if you all have any questions about me and my plans going forward with my YouTube channel, man, feel free to let me know your question in the comments in the chat. You know what I mean? I would love to answer that. Because you know I already have a few plans in mind going forward with my channel. I already do. So. But you all have a good day. Peace. I'm getting out of here. My eyes are closing. I'm really about to fall asleep. Have yourselves a nice rest of y'all's weekend. And I will see you tomorrow live on, I think, Dragon Ball Z Verse 2. Or on Dragon Ball FighterZ, because I want to finish the Super Warrior arc. And I may just essentially do Dragon Ball Z Verse 2 after that afternoon, and then tonight I'll just stream probably Call of Duty. We'll see you later, folks. Peace.